Eleanor Whittock, 42, is a beautiful and sophisticated woman. James Whittock, 45, is a successful banker with a sophisticated and elegant style. Jessica Drake, 29, is a former stripper with a charming and alluring appearance. Bank executive hires hitman to off-wife and steamy affair. In the glamorous world of Los Angeles, a magnificent mansion blending in with the city's elite. James Whittaker, a successful banker, is a man of power and wealth. His life is filled with luxury and fame. James has a wife, Eleanor, a high-class woman famous for her grace and exquisite beauty, focused on image and fame, rarely spending time with James. The relationship between them gradually became cold and distant. James began to feel a lack of affection and attention, things he could not find in his wife, making James, despite his wealth and success, feel lonely in his married life. Jessica Drake, a former stripper, has gone through a difficult and struggling life. She decided to leave her old job, trying to find a new, more stable life. However, life outside was not easy, and Jessica still struggled to make a living. With her charming appearance and understanding of how to attract others, Jessica attracted the attention of many wealthy men in high society. At a charity party of the upper class, James met Jessica. She appeared as a companion of a mutual friend. James was immediately attracted by Jessica's charm and difference from other upper-class women. Jessica, with her experience and sharpness, quickly realized James's interest. She started chatting with him, and their interactions became captivating and full of attraction. James, longing to find the passion lost in his marriage, could not resist Jessica's charm. They began a secret relationship, with meetings in the dark, away from the eyes of society. The relationship brings James excitement and a sense of rebirth, while Jessica sees an opportunity to gain patronage and the life she has always dreamed of. Gradually, the feelings between James and Jessica deepen, but with it comes increasing tension as James begins to fear that Eleanor will discover the truth. The decision to hire a hitman to kill his wife stems not only from the fear of losing everything, but also from the pressure of his affair with Jessica. It is the combination of fear, passion, and greed that pushes James down the path of sin from which there is no return. Eleanor, with her perfect appearance, was a person with sharp intelligence and a delicate sense of perception. James knew that Eleanor might soon find out about his relationship with Jessica. The fear of losing everything, from family to career, was deeply ingrained in James's mind. He began to feel an unbearable fear. Every day, the worry that Eleanor might find out the truth became a nightmare. One evening, when he saw Eleanor smiling brightly in her evening gown, James couldn't help but think about how to end this fear. He felt himself being pushed to the brink of despair. Blinded by love, James decided to hire a hitman. But not just any hitman. He was Grim Sleeper, one of America's most notorious serial killers. Grim Sleeper, whose name was filled with fear, had murdered many victims and left behind a trail of brutal crimes. James contacted Grim Sleeper through a secret criminal network. In a dark meeting, James made a request. Grim Sleeper, with his cold eyes and sinister smile, accepted. James felt a chill in his bones when he saw this man. He was not only a hitman, but also a symbol of cruelty. James paid in advance, promising a large sum for the job. He provided all the necessary information about Eleanor, her schedule, habits, and upcoming events. Grim Sleeper accepted the assignment and began preparing for the brutal plan. The day of the party at Eleanor's mansion. The mansion was sparkling with lights, and the guests were all dressed in luxurious clothes. Eleanor, in a sparkling blue evening gown, was radiant with grace, James stood by, pretending to be a loving husband. But his anxiety could not be hidden. Grim Sleeper had blended into the crowd under the guise of a waiter. He moved stealthily, making his way to where Eleanor was standing. Every step he took was carefully calculated. He had to carry out this task perfectly. As the party reached its climax, the guests' attention was distracted. Grim Sleeper chose the right moment to act. In a moment, when the lights were dimmed and the sounds of the party were drowned out, he appeared right behind Eleanor. Grim Sleeper pulled out a sharp knife from his serving bag. Eleanor, unaware of his presence, was chatting happily with a guest. Suddenly, the Grim Sleeper attacked. Eleanor's hands were cold, her body was racked with pain. Screams and cries rang out in panic. The entire mansion was in chaos, lights flashing and sounds echoing everywhere. James stood at a distance, unable to hide his panic. He felt pain and guilt invade his mind. When he saw this gruesome scene, he realized that everything was beyond his control. The Grim Sleeper carried out his mission coldly, without any emotion. The case quickly attracted the attention of the media and the police. James, although trying to present himself as a grieving husband, could not hide his fear and stress. The police began to investigate, and Grim Sleeper, with his cunning, left behind faint traces. Jessica Drake, feeling the extreme tension, had no idea of James's plot. She felt anxious and confused. Her connection with James now became an unpredictable danger. Eventually, the truth about James's affair and his brutal plot gradually came to light. James had to face the consequences of his actions. He was charged for his role in the murder. Jessica, although not implicated, felt pain and guilt. This case shook the community and created many unanswered questions. Grim Sleeper, although temporarily at large, left a deep mark in the history of crime. James and Jessica must live with their brutal decisions, and the aftermath of the case will forever be a part of their lives. The community continues to seek justice, while pain and guilt linger in the shadows. Don't take your eyes off the screen, because we have many other dramatic cases for you to watch. Thank you for watching until the end of the video. Don't forget to like, share, and follow the channel to support us. See you again in the next video.